welcome to another episode of It's Beyond Me podcast. I'm your host, Freddy T. And today I'm going to talk about the whole Pearly Things debacle. And honestly, to everybody, I mean, my wife already put it out what she thinks about it. And I somewhat agree with her. Obviously, the slight things that I might look at differently, but I kind of sat back and said I'll watch what the rest of the whole Black YouTube was gonna say first before I give my opinion. My opinion with this whole situation is I agree with a couple content creators. So the first group of content creators I agree with is Aber and Preach.
Just Pearly Things. What do you think?
I want to think about what?
About her getting in trouble.
It was bound to happen.
Okay, if you aren't aware,
What's
Just Pearly Things, the lady who's 26, unmarried, single, career-driven, and constantly tries to educate women on how to be submissive and married by 25, has gotten in trouble recently. Not for not taking her own advice and being the opposite of whatever the fuck she preaches, but more so for having Nick Fuentes, who's a white supremacist,
Anti-Semite.
On her platform. And basically, when she invited him on the platform for an interview, she didn't push back against any of the stuff that she said. Basically, was co-signing him. I think it's wild that people have an issue with her right now when she's made her entire career on clowning black women.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, now that she said something about black people as a whole, y'all got an issue. But when she was clowning black, I remember this girl used to have videos back in the day. She used to hit me up all the time. I never really responded much. She used to hit us up and she's like, oh, I want to interview you guys. You know, I got one of the fastest growing podcasts in the world. This is like when she had like 100K subs. When I started seeing her try to do the new come up where she transitioned from what she used to be, which was before her videos were like, whitest girl in the world reacts to new rap song. Whitest girl in the world reacts to ABBA and Preach. I'm like, okay, this racial dynamic that she keeps playing into is corny and cringe as fuck. But she saw it as a marketing ploy. That was her in to get in, right? She then transitioned to the next step, which is like, oh, I see what Kevin Samuels and some of these other red pills are doing. Let me try to emulate that. So she inserted herself and she was just talking. And I was like, y'all don't find it fucking weird that a white woman who grew up in a extremely wealthy in some rural part of America, okay?
So I'm going to show you the front of the house. So I wish I could be in these videos, but I could not find a sibling that felt like...
is making her career giving marriage and life advice as some young 22, 23-year-old. Do I think she's a grifter? Absolutely. Yeah, I do. I don't think she believes half the stuff that she says that comes out of her mouth. Her friends, her family have already come out and said stuff against her, and she's made up certain aspects of her life. But more importantly, I don't know, you just see the switch up that she's done over the last 2 years, and it's been fascinating to see the kind of title she had before, content she's making, to what she's making now. I just don't buy it. I never did. At the end of the day, do I think she's some kind of race supremacist? No, I don't. I think she's just somebody who wants to make money. And her capitalistic mindset made her realize that black men will support a woman who echoes what they think, especially if she doesn't look like them. And so they threw money at her. Truth is, she's a goofy broad who found a way into the community and was able to make a lot of money off you guys. And she will continue because a lot of dudes are more concerned with getting back at women or showing them up than they are with actually getting to the truth of any situation. Because if you look at her, she's a giant flaming hypocrite. The thing that she is the exact thing that she preaches against. She ain't got no husband. She's a career-driven woman who's very, very argumentative and isn't submissive in any type of way. How's she the one to tell everyone how to live and what they should be, but she's not even an example of the thing that she talks about? Y'all never found that shit kind of weird? And then on racial issues, I don't even think that she's some kind of supremacist. I just think she's ignorant. That's it. I just think she's ignorant. And when a man came on the platform and said a bunch of stuff, she just didn't have the wherewithal or the ability to counter anything because she wasn't well read on it.
And there was a lot of things that she was agreeing on that, was whatever. But whatever.
I just think she just doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about, which is true for many of the subjects that she talks on. None of this is surprising, so I thought this was actually kind of boring and dull.
Their whole outtake on this is that Pearly Things is pretty much like an open opportunist. She's a grifter. She was just, and to a certain degree, I agree with them. She was looking for, she's trying to make money, so she's trying to fit in where she gets in. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But I disagree with them because I kind of feel like they were a little biased because of the fact that they have a bone to pick with her too. They are correct in the fact that Pearly Thing has changed over the years. She's tried out some cringy content. They were honest. Both camps were like, nothing she said was racist. Could she have handled her guest differently and had more of a pushback and have had more substance to and argued against what he was saying? Yes, that's obvious. But like I said, I just don't think she actually prepared for the whole situation. She was not ready for her guest because honestly, Fuentes is one of those guys who he's been doing this for a long time, so he'll bring the bullshit with him. I mean, that's the best way to describe it. He will push a person into a corner and force his narrative to come out because of the fact that he knows how to stir a conversation to get the rise that he needs. Just like when he triggered the Italian lady that was on the show. It's just the way he is. He's a guy who's been doing this a long time. It's like having Charleston White on your show. He's gonna piss off some people, and that's how you get the clicks. It's just the way it is. I sat here and watched, and I saw a whole bunch of black content creators start fighting inward over the stupidest situation. People, this is YouTube. This is like television. Our sole job over here is to find the next catchy, click-worthy topic. That's what she was doing. If you don't like it, find you a better topic. Do what you gotta do. We'll see what's up. Why is it, as Black YouTube, we feel that we should be gatekeepers on what racial topics everybody talks about? We want to talk about, this is against black people. This is against this. There's nothing she said that was racist. Now, was it in some of the stuff in good taste? No. Because she let her guest take over the show and pretty much make her look like an ass. The guys who claimed to be her friends and were like, oh, that's, collaborating with her. But then the minute she messed up, turned their back on her and whatever. Y'all were a bunch of hoes anyway. MTR, you're at the bottom. You just showed how much of a coward you were because you would do anything for subscribers, and you got to a point where she messed up and she was your friend, and you, instead of being a good friend and showing her the right way and letting her say her rebuttal or even telling her where she went wrong and then letting her apologize on your show to your subscribers, which you claim made her, right? That's what you claim. You didn't. Instead, you kicked her while she was down and straight away started to act like you were boosting another sister. You weren't, because you've never done that, so don't even waste your time. You're just coming off like another red pill guy sitting there with a diaper on crying. Stop. Donovan Sharp, I won't even get started with you, but at the end of the day, I just feel like you guys considered her a friend. You guys could have actually come to bat for her and try and help her. And at the same time, she's tried the red pill stuff. It somewhat worked for her, but obviously she can't do that forever. So she was trying some other stuff. I mean, isn't that what we all do as YouTube content creators? We try and find the next video, try and find that one up the last person with content that nobody else has. I wouldn't be making a video on this if it wasn't a topic. I mean, as much as MTR and some of these guys want to say they made her, it's kind of funny. How do you make a person who has more subscribers than you do? I don't get that. Did they collaborating with her add some subscribers to her? Yes. But I don't think they brought Black YouTube to her, because she went viral, and when she went viral, she shattered all the barriers. That's how I saw her. Because I saw her on, I forget what video I saw her on, and I was like, what the hell is she talking about? And then I watched another video, and did I agree with everything she says? No. Because I'm not going to lie, some of the stuff that she says is out there, but I think she just says it to get a rise out of people. This is YouTube. And when most of the people on YouTube, you're trying to become a star, you're trying to be, because YouTube, most people watch YouTube more than they watch television, you're trying to get views. So you're going to say some off the wall stuff. Like her friend said, who I pretty much consider a hater if you watch this. Her friend said that Pearl is putting on an act. I don't put that past her. Because at the end of the day, if you think all these content creators are exactly the same way they are in front of the screen, off screen, you're lying to yourself. I kind of find it weird that everybody wanted to clap down on her because she had a white supremacist on her show. And I applaud her because the one thing is you're trying to find out why everybody hates him. You're trying to find out why he's a topic. So at the end of the day, I don't blame her for having him on there. Because I just think she should have done more homework on it. She should have had another person on there with him who shares a different view so that we can get both sides of the story. Hell, she should have, being as big as she is, she should have asked Dr. Umar to come on there because, hell, you got a white supremacist and an openly black supremacist. That would have been beautiful. That would have been the fireworks that you need. But, you know, she dropped the ball on that one, and that's it. I don't really think she's a racist. She's just ignorant. She just didn't do enough homework on it because she was trying to do it like she does all her other topics. If you ever really watch Pearly Things, she likes to just wing it. That's the best way I can take it. She likes to bring on a bunch of people, let them do their thing, start off the whole argument. It's like she lights a fire, throws some gas on it, and then she sits back and watches it. The other content creators I agree with is Lead Attorney and The Angry Man. After watching their video, I was like, wow, they hit all the points that I wanted to hit, and they were right.
Everybody's coming at me about this too, you know, because I didn't see anything Pearly said that was racist. It might have been salacious, but not necessarily racist. And we're running around saying, okay, we need to hold Pearly accountable, hold Pearly accountable. How? Most of the guys in this space have said that you can't, like, if we have the conversation about holding black women accountable, there are numerous guys in these spaces that'll say you can't hold women accountable. Yes, Lois! Now, if you're saying, now I see Duke saying that, okay, well, if somebody's being racist on the internet of a different race, you stop supporting them. That makes perfect sense. But I don't think that the majority of Pearly's audience is black.
Like, so much of this stuff is, you know, it's kind of content too. And, you know, putting, like Angry Man said, putting salacious stuff out there, it's going to get the views, it's going to get the money. Everybody talks about all of Pearl's employees and stuff. Pearl has overhead, man. Pearl stresses out if those numbers ain't looking right. If you are a business owner, you know about overhead and you know about getting to the 15th or the 20th of the month and you ain't where you need to be. You know about that, right? And the big way to get money on this content game, on this YouTube game, is to get some fucking controversy rolled up, some fucking some conflict, some interviews, right? Andrew Tate, Brittany Renner, Nick Guy, shit, anybody that can cause a stir. Get Esther back in here, shit. You trying to hold it up for the algorithm. Guys, I've been a hoe for this algorithm at times. I need this money. I don't know what you want me to tell you, man. Well, look, I don't think she's racist, but yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Look, the thing about it is this is what I say. Like, if you, for the content creators out there, if you think that Pearly said something that was ridiculous or outrageous or whatever, make your voice louder. Outperform her. Make your platform bigger than hers, and then it'll be your voice that's being heard as opposed to hers. But at the end of the day, like, we can't control what people say on their platforms and what people do on their platforms.
That's what they say about free speech. You know, so many people want to quell speech that they don't like. And what's the answer? The answer isn't to quell or to stop speech that you don't like. The answer, like Angry Man said, is just to speak louder.
Now, if you guys watch this video, it's pretty interesting because you know what? The Angry Man is considered one of the founders of the manosphere. And he brings out a good point. He's like, everybody wants to hold Pearl accountable for what she said. And firstly, he honestly states that he doesn't find anything she said racist, which I don't find anything she said racist. Secondly, he states everybody wants to say we should hold her accountable. But most men in the manosphere admit that they always say you can't hold women accountable for anything. So how does that work? As the video goes on, these guys come out with the best points I have seen anybody come out with. I mean, they sat there and they watched it from, like I did, from the outside. And honestly, you know, the lead attorney says one good point that explains why Pearly Things contracts are so, quote unquote, fucked up. Because at the end of the day, like any business owner, she has an overhead. So, okay, people are like, why? Well, why does she take such a big chunk on the contracts? That doesn't make sense. But what people are failing to understand, these people that she's collabing with, they're not as big as her, number one. So they're piggybacking off her. They also using her editors. They also using her promotion team and her management team. Pretty much, she's the one taking all the risk financially by having them. People got to eat. She's got overheads. People got to get paid. The same person who's going to shoot that video, that whoever their cameraman is, he got to get paid too. The same person who's going to sit there and edit it, they got to get paid too. People are not including that. And then on top of that, there are a couple haters, if you actually listen, like, O'Shea, dude, no offense, dude, like, I understand some of the videos he made. They kind of make sense, but he comes off like just a hater and a dick rider. Because at the end of the day, you know, she didn't say anything really racist. Now, do you agree with her business practices? No, but that's your opinion. I think what everybody's problem is that she's white, speaking on black issues or speaking on black people. And it's kind of funny because as a black content creator, you see a lot of black people. We all speak on white people. We don't find anything wrong with it. We don't find anything cringy about it. But yet, the minute she said something that we didn't agree with or did something that we felt was on the fence, we were quick to kick her out, kick her down, and call her racist. Even though essentially she actually never said anything. Well, she said something cringy here and there, but didn't outright say anything racist. And our view on it is that, like Abram Priest said, the fact that she didn't speak against anything that he said, which I think in her defense was just because she didn't really get ready for this whole interview when she did it. She didn't really prepare. She just thought she was going to wing it like everything else. But the way they see it is that since she didn't give any rebuttals, she was co-signing it. Is that right or wrong? Only personally, I think she's the only one who could answer to that. Do I think it's wrong that she didn't prepare? Yeah. Do I think she's a racist? No. Like I said, I agree with Abram Preach, and I do agree with the Angry Man and the lead attorney on this situation. It's been another episode of the It's Beyond Me podcast. Like, comment, and subscribe.